Good morning. Brock's got the mower out on the 4440. Had him get that hooked up and do a little mowing here this morning. We're gonna combine beans today, but we gotta wait till this afternoon. Brock and I came over to the field here. We're gonna deal with this tire a little bit. Just checked it. It is down to 4 pounds. I had it at 27 on Thursday when we were over here. It was at 19 on Friday when we were over here, and on Monday it's at 4. So clearly we've got a slow leak somewhere. Fix that. I brought some soapy water, and we're gonna pump it back up and spray it down, see if we can figure out where it's leaking from. I think he put a new valve core in. Did you put the new core in? Yeah. So maybe that was it. I doubt it, but we'll start there. Now I'm spraying this down with some soapy water here. If it bubbles, it's leaking. I haven't found anything yet that is obviously suspect, which as slow as it's leaking, you really won't. Ooh, right there's a spot. See if that comes back. I wonder if it's bead leak, but we're only at like 12 psi right now, so it could just be pushing some out of it because we got the same thing here. I don't know if that's it. That might be it. Maybe we just need to break the bead and seal it. I didn't see anything obvious on the tread anywhere. Obviously I can't spray on the ground, but check our oil and stuff here while we're waiting for that tire to pump up. All looks good. The beans sure look ready. I'm sure there's still some green ones. And you can see right there along the edge, but the areas are smaller than they were. We're gonna come and get these. It'll be fine. So I can't tell if all these bubbles coming out from around the bead are just because we're squeezing some air out that got in there because we're pumping that up and it's stopping or not, but I did find one small leak right there. I don't know if that's enough to cause this or not, but that's definitely a spot. And then there was one more right here that's even smaller. That I think is leaking. But that's hard to tell. It's a really slow leak if it is. Anyway, there's not much I'm going to do about this one. I'm going to try and mark it, keep an eye on it, or at some point we'll have to try and fix it, but that requires dismounting the tire, I think, to do it right. And we may need to put some bead sealer in here still. We gotta be getting close now. All right, we pumped it way up to 30, which is way more than what it actually needs, but it'll give us some time. So that's the only leak I found. Well, has this one got any bubbles on it now? No. Maybe. Yeah, there is a teeny tiny one right there, but all right. Well, we'll just do what we got to do for now to keep air in it because it's not leaking instantly, so we can run with it like this. We're just going to have to check it every morning before we get started kind of thing. But all right, we still got probably an hour and a half at least before we can start combining. So we're gonna head back to the farm. We'll grab some lunch. Maybe we'll walk over and check these beans, see what they look like. But yeah, we'll be back over here in a little bit. You guys, I'm gonna need to create a GoFundMe, or maybe you can I can give you my Venmo or code or something, because I need new boots and I'm too cheap to buy them. But this boot here is cracked and the bean stubble keeps poking me in the bottom of the foot, going all the way through my shoe. Dang it. Anybody want to donate to my boot fund? I'm kidding. I don't need you to pay for my boots, but I just am too cheap to want to buy any. Oh well. Alright, let's see what we got. Did it crack? That's a no.
Yeah.
Brock's got dirty hands is what he's got.
Somebody's got to work around here.
Yeah.
Pod does.
Pods are cracking.
No,
See that shriveled up bean? That's not good.
beans in here. Oh, at least.
Take the bean, you put it in your teeth. See if it crunches. That wasn't horribly not crunchy. Yeah, they're 14%. They're close. Look at that. It's my sock. Not cool. Think I can glue it shut? Just cracked. Well, we came back, got some lunch. Pretty sure the last thing I recorded was in the field, and if I didn't record this clip, the next clip would be back in the field, so it would look weird. So I decided I better make this video. We're going to combine beans. Are these beans ready? I think these beans were pretty close. There's a green spot over there, but so what? This may be our next target. Let's rock and roll. Back in the combine here. Got a grain cart driver and everything, so yeah, hopefully they're a little drier today than they were before. The elevator is open though, so they're going straight to town, and we'll find out. We'll know for sure. And we're off. It's definitely the dry beans and then the spots that are still green. Hopefully right along this fence row here is the worst of it. That side should all be better. They looked drier over there, so we'll get the green ones out first. Probably should have waited on these, but it's fine. It's dusty. I mean, like here it says 11.8. That's, well, we can count my nose all day. Problem is the green spots that jump up to 20, and then you end up with some pods and some green ones in the tank. But by the time you blend them out, hopefully they're 15 or less. Today is the 15th of September. It's the day that I thought we would start combining beans, and it's the first real good day of running beans. I mean, these beans are dry here. Exactly what we want. 12 to 13. 11. Okay, so they're plenty dry, but they're all dry here. There's no green ones to blend off, so I mean, I don't know where our yield's at. It says we're in the high 50s to 60. I would be thrilled if we hit, 55 plus average in this field. That would be fantastic. We'll compare the combine to the grain cart here, and like I said, Phil is going to haul some loads into the town, so we'll get one loaded here with the grain cart and check that scale to the elevator scale. So we'll get a pretty good idea once we're done here if we're in the ballpark or not, and have good totals. But yeah, things are running good now. Cruising right along, 4.5 to 5 miles an hour. Losses show 0. We'll have to stop and get out here and look a little bit. From what I saw, from what we combined the other day, we were getting some header loss in some places, but nothing really coming through the combine. So I think we're doing a good job. We'll get our grain sample cleaned up now that we're out of the green ones for now, and see what we can get done today. Yeah, buddy. Dusty, but it's going good here. I mean, we're flying through these. They're dry. They're combining nice. We got stuff cleaned up good. They're not great beans over here, which is more of what I expected than the other side, but still averaging 55. We'll take them. So Phil just left with the first truck. We did not bring a second truck over here, so Brock's just gonna have to keep whatever he gets in the grain cart until Phil gets back. We might fill that cart up before that happens, but we'll be getting close to being done by that point too, so that's okay. Oh, also, Brock broke the grain cart. Hired help, I tell you what. Now, there was a couple of bolts that hold, there's some like set screw bolts that hold the pivot pin for the auger in place where the auger fold pivot is. They're just the set screws that basically the thread's stripped out on, so it's not the end of the world, but we don't want to keep folding and unfolding that auger and have the potential for that pin to work its way out, so he's just going to leave it out. Some farmers leave their augers out all the time. Combine, grain cart, all of it. we're not those people. I'm very much a full drogger in every time kind of person because nothing good happens from leaving it out. You're more liable to hit a tree or a telephone pole or an electric line or the combine auger or whatever else. So we usually fold them every time. It is okay to leave it out though, especially if there's something for a reason that we should not be folding it. And in this case there is. We get it back to the farm, we'll see if we can't get some new bolts put in there. Might have to tap out the holes or something, I don't know. We'll look at it once we get it back, but it's still functional. Just about done here. I've got a full grain cart, and Phil should be back fairly soon with the truck. He texted Brock, said that the moisture was 1303 on that first load, which is perfect, absolutely perfect. And our grain cart was 400 pounds different than the elevator, which is more than I would like to see, but not horrible. Like, that's reasonable. So we'll try and dial that in, but we'll do another load and see if it's the same or not. Cart is full, but we should get the rest of this on the combine. So we're going to finish here. Problem is, whatever's left on the combine is probably not going to fit on the truck. I don't know. It's going to be close. So we'll have to decide whether it's worth bringing the truck all the way back over here, or if there's only a few thousand pounds on the grain cart, maybe we can run that down the road. Problem is, we got 8-9 miles to go. I don't want to really take that down the road too awful bad. Done with this field. There was 26 here and 30 something over there. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, like 30 maybe. I don't know. I think there was 65 here total. So these are done. We got to wait for Phil to get back. Obviously, get the grain cart empty and get the combine empty. But we can drop the head here, and we can be ready to go. We got to figure out where we're going to go next. A couple of options. Well, we just got the head unhooked, and Phil showed up with other trucks, so he's loaded and gonna leave. So that's the trailer we put the power tarp on, you know. And Phil bought a brand new semi truck last year, brand spanking new, and we put the power tarp on the other one, and he's driving the older truck. Maybe because it's got the power tarp and the new trailer, the other trailer doesn't. I don't know. Rock jumped right in the combine there to unload it. Dusty, the wind's blowing right at me. But yeah, too much to take it down the road with this. We're gonna have to bring a truck over here, which is fine. We'll take the combine and the head now, go to the next field, run some ends off or something, and then we'll go back to the farm and get the new truck, the new semi truck that doesn't have a power tarp. And we'll come empty the grain cart and take this in the truck back. So cool. Well, that's a good start. Let's keep her moving. That first truck, yeah, 13.03 moisture. So I bet the one he's taking now is like 11%. 11,000. That's how many miles we put on a semi in a year. I think he used the older Volvo, the gray one, quite a bit for hauling in the winter when the roads were crappy. So yeah, it's not a lot though. Right there's where that bolt came from that Brock was telling me broke. I'm gonna watch him fold it up here just to make sure, but I think it's okay. Quite the fold mechanism to this thing, because that cylinder pulls down on this bar, which pivots on this, but it pulls on that arm up there, which pivots the whole auger down. Don't stand underneath it. Yeah, that pin didn't move at all, so we'll watch it, make sure it doesn't fall out, but I think it's okay there. Yeah, we'll get that fixed as soon as we get a chance. All right, let's go combine. Let's go combine. I don't know if we'll get all this done or not. There's 46 in the backfield and 13 in the front here, or maybe 15. So about 60-ish acres. Doing some end rows on this field here. Can you tell that we've got a different variety in this first pass? Sometimes that happens when we change varieties, going to a different field. If you don't clean the row units out, the first little bit is still seed from in there. Even if you dump the CCS tanks, you get a little bit of that. Those ones are a little greener, but our average right now is 11.3 moisture. We're gonna need some of those green beans to bring the moisture up and average them out. So we'll grind them out. We're just gonna do them a little bit at a time. I've made a few tweaks to some of my settings and stuff on the combine. My loss monitor still shows that there's nothing coming out. But I'm waiting on a grain cart to get here, and we're gonna be full pretty soon. So when we get up to the end here, we're gonna stop, we're gonna get out and try and look behind the combine a little bit, see what we see on the ground. I'm gonna stop as soon as we get to the end so that we can check right behind the head before the combine would have dumped bean or the chaff and stuff out, so we can see if it's header loss versus threshing or separator loss. But it looks like we're doing a really good job. I don't know. My grain tank sample's just a little dirty. That's why I turned the fan speed up and closed some stuff down. That's not horrible, but there's more sticks in there than I like to see, so we'll get it better. All right, so here is the end. So right there is kind of the line of the chaff that just came out. So anything right in here is head or shatter, head loss that we need to take into account. And there is a bunch. Wow, how do we fix that? Look at all of those beans. That's not the combine's fault. That's a head issue. That is low podded beans and brittle pods. We walk out here, and if we look down towards the ground level, you see a pod right here that's maybe 2 inches maybe off the ground. There's one there hanging way down, and they're really dry, so they just break right apart, which is good, but we got to get them to break apart in the combine. Okay, well that's not what I wanted to see here. Yeah, really dry. Not as many, but more beans than we like to see, right? 3 per square foot equals 1 bushel. We've got every bit of 3 per square foot here. So we got to tighten that up. Figure out, maybe we'll play with the pitch on our head, the adjustment that way and stuff. See if that helps. But let's walk out here back behind the combine where we were still running full speed and see if it's worse. It's not going to be better, you wouldn't think, but hopefully it's not worse. If it's worse, that means they're coming through the combine too. Yeah, we still see them out here, but I would not call it worse. It was bad enough behind the head there. How do we fix that? Okay. Well, it's not what I wanted to see. That's not great. That is not what we want to see. Again, there's not a lot I can do with the head though. Like, we can adjust our hydroflex pressure and try and get it to flex a little bit more, but I've already got it pretty low, I think. And we can play with that pitch. I can tip the cutter bar down to try and get the teeth down under the beans more, or I can try and tip it back to keep stuff from rolling off of the head. Maybe that's what's happening. I'm not sure, but we're getting shatter loss at the head. It's not the combine loss, and that's a problem. Well, I got some time. We might as well pull the field sign out. Brock made it. All right, so header loss. So we have this button over here that will change the pitch of the entire head, the feeder house faceplate angle. And when I hit it, we were at like a -2 when I first did that. So I'm gonna pitch it forward to like a +1, 1.5, we'll go there, which pitches it down. And we'll see if that makes any difference. We'll have to get out and check in another round here. Also, Phil came back. Our second load of beans from the first field there, 10.3 moisture. So they've gotten really dry really fast on us. And dry beans shatter. That's just what happens. That's why we always say you're better to combine beans at 15 than you are at 10. Because of exactly what we saw down there. And there's nothing I can do about it. Or very little that I can do about it. Now, I'm sure all of you are lighting me up in the comments saying, put an air bar on it, put an air bar on it. And yeah, you're right. An air bar might help in these. But these are not super short beans. They're still feeding in just fine. We're getting them up onto the draper belt, and would an air bar blow those beans into the head instead of them falling off the front? Maybe, I don't know. It's not that easy to just put an air bar on it. First of all, they're expensive. They cost a lot of money, and Crary hasn't reached out to me asking if I want to show it off on YouTube and give it to me for free. Not that I'm asking them to. Two, they rob a ton of horsepower. And with beans, especially big, tall, bushy beans, which is mostly what we are growing and harvesting, they rob a lot of horsepower. And so I don't know if it would be worth it. Now, if they're all like what we just looked at over there, and that's how many beans we're losing all the time, yeah, sure. And it helps, you know, if it actually does anything, then yes, it probably is worth it. I don't think they're all like that. Well, there's our front field. 11.5 acres is all we got out of that one. We need to check our combine to the grain cart scales. We buying that? 71. I don't know if I'm buying that. That'd be fantastic. But I don't know, guys. We've been really dry. It hasn't rained here. A month and a half. Phil's out checking my losses. That's never a good sign. But I'm aware, and we're trying. Alright, we had a little check on the ground. It's better. It's not good, but it is better than it was. The worst of it seems to be where the divider point is running. That's causing me problems. Nothing I can do about it, though. So we're checking weights. Phil is going to compare the second load to what the grain cart said, and then we're going to unload the cart here and compare what it says to the combine on this field. I think we got pretty good beans. Better beans than I thought we were going to. I thought we would be okay, but this is better than I was thinking, so that's good. Okay, we got a harvest or a grain weight total on that front field from the grain cart, and the combine was 600 pounds heavy. Now 600 pounds is 10 bushels. 10 bushels on 11 acres is less than 1 bushel per acre difference. So that means instead of 71.9 they went 70 and a half. 71. That's dang good. I was not expecting that. And this field here is generally better. Like this back, all this through here is going to be fantastic beans. So let's go. Let's have some fun here. Surprise, it's dark. Yeah, we did a TikTok live stream for this field, so that went well. We'll do some YouTube live streams for you guys that aren't on TikTok, but if you are on there, you're going to catch me live there a bunch this fall, I suppose. So we're down to the last pass of this field. See the yield map right there. They've been pretty good. The yields dropped off just a touch as we've gotten on this west side of it here, which is the poorer side of the field anyway, so that's expected. But yeah, we're still hanging in there right around a 70 bushel average. I mean, just under that, which is I'm happy with. We will take that. So it's gonna be about 8:30 here when we're wrapping this up. So we're gonna get unloaded, and I might drop the head and drive the combine back to the farm. We gotta get fuel. Well, I guess still half a tank, but we're gonna get fuel before tomorrow and see if we can't have another big day of combine and beans tomorrow. We got a wheat delivery coming too we got to deal with. They're really dusty. That's what happens when they get dry like this, but done. All right. Well, that was a pretty good day then. I'll have to see how many acres we did. I got the head dropped. We're gonna kick all of this dust and leaves off of our feeder house here. Makes it hard to hook the head up if there's dirt, beans, and stuff on this top plate of the feeder house when we go back to the hook it up next time. Some of it'll blow off going down the road. I'll try and get it off before that. I'll fold our non-powered ladder. Let's go. Thanks for watching today, guys. It's really good to get rolling on harvest. Have decent yields, maybe better than we were expecting, and we'll see how that continues to go. We've got a fair bit of these early beans that are going to be ready to go, and we're going to keep going hard tomorrow because 9% beans is unacceptable. But there's nothing I can do about it. We're going to get started as early as we can tomorrow, and keep it rolling. So I've got somebody bringing a wagon load of wheat around 9 o'clock, and then I have my new seed wheat bulk bags and stuff coming a little bit after that. So after we get those two things taken care of, we will go ahead and get started combining. We got a field right over there, just around the corner, and then another one right over there, just around the corner. So we'll see if we can get those done tomorrow. I didn't even look to see how many acres we did today, but we had a good day. We did pretty well. Had to be 80, almost 100 acres probably. Close. So have a great night. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the morning.